Are you going to have a beer? Because we've been live for 2 minutes.
Oh, no.
Just to let everybody know. And is it dead, Paul?
Yep.
We killed.
Can I have the rest of the?
You can drink all that.
I will.
I have to.
I'm drinking Bodie's piss.
Then, but we've got probably plenty of Scottish ale left. Yeah.
What's the third?
Cider. It's for Jackson.
Oh,
yeah.
I bought him a new kit too. I'm going to make you a new batch.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what flavor.
That'll be cool.
Blueberry. I think it's blueberry.
Oh, that'll be pretty good.
I've been wearing the shit out of the Packfiller jerseys. So the black and the one you ruined, black.
Yeah, the black one.
Yeah, I love those jerseys.
He's got another one coming.
I've got a medium Arrive that I wore today that like I could probably flex.
You could flex
and
and
bust
tear.
it out. Yep. It's a little smooth.
Fat man in a little coat.
Yeah. I still was under 170 though.
Before we begin, the summer of gooder continues for just a few more weeks. You guys, make sure to grab your discount code of Packfiller15. That is 15 before they are gone. Great fitting, polarized lenses, non-slip frames, and more styles than Sir Elton John. I wrote that copy last week, and I used that joke last week. More styles than Harry.
Yeah.
Styles.
That's
just
good.
came out of that. It's improvisation, everybody. Use the link at packfiller.com and be sure to include that special one-time code of Packfiller15. That means one time, which means every house you get to use it once. I don't know if you can log on to different computers and probably use it again. Or maybe your address. I don't know. They probably do something creative like that. Thanks to the one and only Gooder. Also, we need to mention our friends at Fellow Products. If you're a coffee fan, you need to understand all the brilliance that Fellow offers. From the best in grinding and preparation, especially if you're into that pour-over method, which I do. Perfect amount. I get like 3 cups a day. It's perfect. To the best travel thermos out there, and I shouldn't say thermos because that is technically a brand. The travel...
Hot cup.
Hot cup, yeah.
It keeps things hot.
Ours hot or cold. Get to packfiller.com. Click on the Fellow Products link and get started. Sorry, fellow. Also, I want to mention a new partner with the one and only Movember Foundation. I haven't been wearing this mustache just because I look good in it. I've been wearing it for the Movember Foundation. We've been slowly launching our Patreon program, and what a better way to get involved with the show than to help benefit testicular cancer and suicide prevention. That's right, we'll be talking more, but for now, get to Packfiller, click on the link, and learn about how you can help as well as benefit from the Packfiller Patreon program. There we go. Let's do this, shall we? Okay.
You're not gonna make us grow What'd you do? Your wrist hit the pad there.
Did it
buddy.
really?
Yeah.
Total pro.
Yeah.
My wrist
Yeah.
touched the pad?
When you went for your beer.
Now it's the spinning wheel of death. It's the computer's all frozen now.
Well,
You want me to
it could
sing
be
the title?
Because you know what?
People say we shouldn't
Are
go.
we still online here?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I paid the internet bill.
Well, the problem is for the last 2 weeks, Xfinity has been shutting off my, and I paid the bill, but they send me text saying, "Hey, we're doing service in your area."
Wow.
So
Well, this is just my computer, though.
okay, we'll fill it in.
We'll pretend. Hey, let's do this. Did you? We'll pretend the theme's playing, and this is why I get some people who give me shit about doing the show live. It's like, how can you do that? What happens if something goes wrong? And something going wrong is kind of the fun of it.
Yeah, well, look at
For
us.
example,
We're
right
all
now.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the misfits, the island of misfit toys.
Toys. Yeah. Nobody wants a
Charlie in a box.
or a
Choo-choo
squirts jelly. Or choo-choo with square wheels.
You know how many times you guys have said that on
What was
this
the little doll?
show?
What was the little doll? What did she do? She was like a
polka dot.
pony or
I
something.
thought she.
She had chicken pox.
Oh yeah, she did.
She did not.
No, she had polka
Oh,
dots
she-
all over her face and stuff.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't
thought
think
was
she
the one that cried
complained.
jelly.
No, the square kind of.
Yeah.
Oh
squirts
yeah,
jelly.
yeah, yeah.
How would a squirt? How would a doll squirt?
Okay. Whoa.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Pack Filler. Oh wait.
Go.
No, fuck it.
Yeah.
That theme isn't working. It's going to kick on at about minute
Yeah,
36. Do you hear the light tones in my voice? Do you guys hear it? I sound a
happy.
little released, a
Yeah.
little light, a little happy. That's because I have spent the past 2 days purging junk. My house is a bit more walkable. I think one of you guys actually got to use the bathroom this time because
I
you got
did.
to go to it. And a bit less hoarder. And I feel great. And I know that has nothing to do with cycling, but I just wanted to explain my possible positivity tonight. That was 3 P words in a row, and I didn't fuck them up. And my theme's not playing. My soundboard isn't working right now, but I'm still okay with it because I purged. I got rid of shit. Welcome to Life on Two Wheels. Welcome to the Packfiller Podcast. I'm Pat. Shit. I screwed up my own name. How did I screw up my own name? Who am I? I'm Pat Bolger. Yeah. And we are live in the Rim Break Bar. It is Tuesday. It is 6:00. The beverages are poured. We're out of one of our beers, but boy, if we only had a beer sponsor, right, Jack? Let's talk bikes. Time to get to know the panel. Panel, please, upon your introduction, answer the following question: what is an unpopular opinion that you hold? Don't get political. An unpopular opinion that you personally hold. I'm going to allow you a couple seconds.
You can. Everybody knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, you got to maybe go a little deeper than that. But okay, well, you're first anyway. So first of all, he's the only person in the room with an upcoming race, Mr. Paul Main. How are you, man?
Good if the race happens.
Oh, is there room? Is there a potential?
I think he wants 50 by Sunday, and last time I counted it was 18.
Oh, fuck. Really?
So, I don't blame you.
Should we just all sign up?
Yeah, just sign up and don't show.
No, don't show.
It's only $50, guys. Come on, chip in.
Easy enough.
Do it for everybody else. Yeah.
The show should sponsor the rest of the entry fees.
We should. Yeah. We should. With all that spare cash I've got. Oops, I put that in the dumpster. You know what it's... Anyway, Paul, what is an opinion that you hold that might be questionable?
There's no need for the letter X. I think it's a stupid letter.
Xavier?
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
The letter X.
I'm trying to think of the words with the end.
The band?
X-ray.
X, the band X.
But if you didn't have it, they would go MMM or LLL.
The XX is
ECX.
also...
Could they have done an ECX?
what about the word exit?
What
are you
we
gonna
come up
do?
with something else.
Way out. You could put a sign that just
Xavier
way
that
out.
starts with an X uses the
Z.
And
so-
everybody calls them X.
yeah.
Like I knew
Malcolm X.
My ex,
yeah.
you mean?
So he'd just be Malcolm.
He'd just be...
it just wouldn't be the same.
But if you do
But it might be like
EKS,
Madonna.
It's the
What's
same.
that?
If you do EKS, what's the difference?
That's a lot of letters
X.
for
Yeah,
a
there you go.
letter.
So is xylophone. Why
Yeah, but
why
it
is
starts
xylophone?
with a Z and an X.
But it starts
but
with a
it's
Z. Why don't you have
that's a
a
lot of
Z in
letters.
there instead of an X?
I've never...
But
I said it wasn't
C
popular.
and S, C and S have the same sound.
Not always.
Not always, but
So did-
X.
Well, I think we've come to the conclusion English is a stupid language.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that. What we've done to the language is just... oh, man, it's horrible. Wow, that was a great way to start. He's
Yeah, well, thank you.
Second of all, he's the only person in the room who actually enjoys running, Mr. Jack Branahan. How are you, man?
I'm great.
You're here.
Yep.
What do we owe the
In town.
privilege?
I got work to do. And get a couple days of work in and head back to the west side.
What's an opinion you hold? That
I'm going way back to like a high school debate in a classroom, and I've never forgotten it, but it's probably not a very popular opinion, and it might piss people off.
Are you going to say like something horribly racist or anything sexist?
No.
Or
I feel
are
that
we going to find out you're a Nazi or something like that?
it's probably fairly close. No,
Whoa!
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No.
So
Please,
I know this man's
soundboard
political.
work.
He's the opposite of
do,
that.
do you have a Nazi button?
I feel like we shouldn't have a Nazi
Like-
button, and I feel like
like-
we got to be on air saying, "Hey, everybody, we don't
we're
have a
not
Nazi
just
button."
are
joking.
bad.
Yeah,
Nazis are bad.
Yeah. That anyway, you got a button. So
No, I don't.
So I brought this up and I
I'm really scared.
I know, right?
I'm fucking terrified.
There's probably a
My
movie
name's
about
on
it.
the
Just get it
masthead
out.
here.
So there's my thought is that death row inmates that have confessed to their
Sins.
why they are on death row
Yeah.
should contribute back to society with some sort of gift back, and that would be like, you know, cancer research, AIDS research, things like that.
Offer up their bodies to cancer
Yeah,
research?
as a living, you know, like you start to feel sorry for, you know, lab animals, but to basically turn some of the
What are you, Genghis Khan here?
so quickly getting fucked up.
It's like it started. I was like, oh yeah, you got a cool.
They can pay back their debt to society.
It's how you word it
with
it really
their
is.
bodies.
Yeah, it is really how you word it. But
Well, you didn't. You
I
weren't
mean,
successful there.
You haven't worded it.
I'm done. I told you it wouldn't be popular. Lighten it up, Jackson.
Oh,
Well, I do. I will.
30 is the only person in the room with more life ahead of him than behind him. You think about that, guys?
Yeah.
You fucking think about
I
that?
could live to be 107.
Mr. Jackson Bulger. How are you, man?
I'm doing well.
Not after Jackson.
Yeah, mine's not so bad. I might like cats more than I do dogs.
Oh wow.
I know.
All right, you need to get out of here.
Yeah.
So if you worked in this house that we're flipping in Vancouver, you might change your mind.
Yeah.
Well, I love dogs. I
Yeah.
love dogs.
That's me restarting the
But
computer.
but it's like they had probably 11 or 12 cat trees. Who knows how many cats they had? But the
Well, you're
floor-
talking
the
crazy
floor-
cat lady.
Yeah,
people.
Crazy
I have
cat.
a cat.
It all
Yeah.
starts with
Yeah.
one cat. I'm just
But,
saying.
but if you okay, we're talking crazy cat ladies with like 15 cats, right?
Something like that.
What if you had 15 dogs?
That's
It's
fine.
kinda
The
same
house
thing.
would be on fire.
It would.
yeah,
In
yeah.
some parts of Asia, you're a rancher. I'm just saying.
Whoa! That's just about like.
You started the bull the bull by the horn.
Anyways, I really like.
It's been
cats.
a really great time hosting the Packfiller for how many years? Since 1999, and now it's all.
I love dogs. I really do.
I like cats, and oh, there it is.
We're back.
Yep.
It's working.
Let's start over.
No, we should.
I heard something somewhere that was like people who like cats like the animal because they don't need the unconditional love all the time. People who prefer dogs and say they hate cats need the unconditional love from a dog because they feel like they need something or someone to praise them.
I think that's bullocks.
Are you attacking me? Your
Well,
father? Because I've
you're
always
weak.
said-
Your son just told you.
Oh my
nice.
God! My son just
World's
told me
coming to an
I'm
end.
weak. Oh wow! Oh, we're still in introductions. I'm the only person in the room that can admit that he had or likely still has enough random shit in his house to fill a big ass dumpster. I still probably could fill it again. I'm not kidding. How big is that dumpster outside my house?
30 yards.
It's 30 yards.
Yeah.
You answered that really.
Did you
good.
know that off the top of your head?
He
Just
works
like,
in construction. You know the size.
I've filled
Guys,
probably 7 of them in the last 8 months.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm serious.
I filled one of them in the
Yeah.
last 48 hours.
Hey, that's awesome.
I will admit that there was a white trash pool in there. We call it
Rest in
Riviera,
Redneck Riviera.
Redneck Riviera pool that I
Still good?
drug into there. Yeah,
I'll on the way out. You didn't lock it up yet, right?
He'll get knee deep in there.
It's first in there, and I'm not gonna lie, Jackson. A lot of your old stuffed animals are.
Oh no.
It's fine. I haven't really
I just
seen him
think
in
you know what we
10
thought
years.
about it, and the more we thought about it, it was a situation where it was like,
Garage sale,
well, we want to give them.
or-
I thought about garage sale, then I thought about all those people coming here and saying, "You have this listed for 75 cents, and I'll give you 10 cents,"
And
I'm
you
just
say
like, "Get the
yes.
fuck off
No,
my
you
porch!"
say yes.
No, or the people who look at you and say, "This is a great pasta maker. Can I plug it in and try it out?" I'm like, "No, get the fuck off my porch. It's for $1. Take a chance in life."
Plug it in.
He should never have a garage sale.
Yeah, apparently he's
Yeah.
experienced it.
Yeah, we have. And it was a pasta maker. And she was like, she wanted to come into the house and plug it in and make sure it worked. And I'm like, oh, no,
You're gonna
it's
make
for
some
$5
pasta.
fucking dollars.
If you make me dinner, lady, you can
yeah,
plug
yeah.
it in.
So anyway, I'm had Polger.
Holy
I'm very emotional
cats.
tonight. I'm
Matt.
very emotional. I'm not drunk. I
Matt.
swear. My unpopular opinion is that soft rock of the 70s is the most underappreciated genre of music of all time.
Totally wins.
You're not putting air supply in that.
Yeah, he loves Air Supply.
That's
been
80s.
to an Air
That's
Supply
80s.
concert.
But he
I've
loves
seen Air Supply in
multiple
concert.
times.
My mom wanted to go, so I went.
You know what? I don't think I belong here.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have teared up a little
He
bit.
was wearing the black flag shirt.
Teared up.
Air Supply.
Oh yeah, they could stack that little fuck. lead singer in that band can still hit those notes, man. He can belt. Very, very, very good job. Although the guitarist, the blondie looking guy.
Nope, I don't.
You don't know Air Supply? The blondie looking guy still. He at one point he just was like, "I'm going to recite you some poetry." It was like that I've written. It's like, no, shut the fuck up and play the hits, dude. And I've been in a band, and I know what it's like when people want you to just play the hits. When you're in a bar in Hilliard, and it's, hey, how the heck has everybody's cycling life been? By the way, recently, who's been training? I'll start. I've been on the bike twice since last week's show. I know that is bad. I think I've been caught up in dumpsters and summer tasks and
Midnight Century.
Yeah.
yeah. And I did ride Sunday with you guys, and I got my ass handed to me. And I thought it was going to be okay. The whoop told me I was going to be okay, but
It's a liar.
we got to 9 Mile, and I was just like, uh-oh. You guys put the hammer down for a little bit of time, and I was like, okay, let's fucking dance. Boop, 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 boop. Oh,
Too
no.
hot?
Oh no!
No.
I don't know what it was.
It was fairly early in the morning. It wasn't too hot. We had a good day,
Yeah, it was pretty good.
temperature-wise.
It was brutal. It was hard for me. So there we go. How's everybody else's week gone? I'm still positive. God damn it!
Good. I don't think you should put yourself down for riding two times a week. I mean,
Yeah, I should. That's not enough. Don't you think?
that's what I do in off-season training, and I mean that led up to
your off-season?
winning a race. So I'll take that.
But your off season was like
October and November and
Yeah.
December and January and February and May.
this is August, so I
Well,
suck.
No, I think it's great. Because I also rode 2 days last week. I rode once on Friday. That was really hot.
It's been warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the one that we did was the first time I've ridden with you guys in like a month. Just weddings and all that type of stuff got in the way. So it was good to be back out. Yeah.
We were coming back home, and something in your, I don't know if it was a conscious decision or not, but at one point you were just like, we got to the base of Pettit, rolling in there, and you were putting down this, for people who don't know Pettit, how do I describe it? It's just kind of
Doomsday
like
Hill.
Yeah, it's just kind of like one of our little short kind of power climbs.
3/4 of a
about
mile long.
4%, right?
Yeah.
4.5%.
Yep. 3/4
And
of a
it's
mile
just
long.
it's a great finish climb. It's kind of it's the unofficial finish of many rides where it's like, okay,
And
now
a race.
yeah,
Washington
and then-
Trust Classic,
yeah.
whatever.
But for us, it's always just like you get to the top of that, and then we kind of soft pedal through downtown and come home. And you put down some. You were going really hard right to the base of that climb, and then you peeled off, and I was like going, vengeance?
Finish it.
Mad? Is this some sort of a grudge fuck? What's going on? You
Yeah,
know?
it had been a little while since I'd really ridden
Stretched
hard.
the legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Paul was going hard before, and so I noticed that, and I wanted to do it too. So thought I'd add my little
You didn't
2
notice
cents
that
in there.
I was the first one. I pedaled through.
You
certain
did,
areas,
yeah.
too.
You did. Paul did, then you did, and then
Yeah.
I came.
No, I did.
Oh,
Then Paul did. Then
yeah.
I did. Then you
Progressively
did. I
got
just
faster.
want to
Yeah.
know that I did some fucking work.
He needs his credits.
And for the first time ever, and last time ever, I was at the top of Pettit first.
Well, yeah.
It's not that I'm blowing smoke up my own ass, but
Yeah, but I'm enjoying
Just
it.
because he sat in the whole ride.
Yeah.
I did. I fucking did. I waited. I mean, I was horrible. Paul, I was gonna ask you a little bit later in the show, but you've got a race coming up. How's the preparation coming?
Well, that Sunday was part of it. I mean, I try to push big gear stuff, kind of like that's what I do with TTs. So that's why, if there's any reason why, like coming down by the sewage treatment plant, my favorite section.
That's always such a for the
Yeah.
people who don't live here, they're going like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Right by the river.
We do.
Yeah.
We do. We
Yeah.
go by a sewage treatment plant. Yep. Where CP works.
CP, yeah, he works there. Yeah, so a couple of times I just wanted to do like even going up any hill, just kind of pushing a bigger gear, and just work on power, that type of thing. So But as in other rides, today I did a dreadful 40K. Met Jack.
It was dreadful.
Oh, God. I came unglued.
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Really?
was shattered. Brought out the TT bike. The position's all messed up. It's really wrong.
Uh-oh.
So, but that's all right. I know what to do to
Yeah,
fix
2
it.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should
So-
raise your handlebars.
I just got to get risers up.
Yes,
So,
I know.
yeah, I was down
It's
pretty
low.
low.
Yeah,
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 it's pretty
yeah,
low, which is fine for a while.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we were talking about what's his name, Basinger, that only looks like 100
Yeah.
meters. That's all I could do. That's how low I
You
am.
couldn't look. Oh shit.
Yeah. So on the way
You should
out,
sell that bike to a shorter guy.
yeah,
I think it's number 3.
yeah, D,
That's me.
yep. You got to get your wheels first.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, going out. Well, on the other rides, I rode. I had Thursday, Friday off. I didn't ride Saturday, and then I rode with you guys Sunday. And
Yeah.
I rode today. Jack and I met for a coffee and had a little chit chat, and then he had to turn around when I started my 40K.
Yeah, I was about to have a 40K time trial with him.
Yeah.
Any point in time did Jack say, "Fuck"?
No,
before he got
we
caught?
had a good
Really? Wow.
conversation going
Yeah.
on, talking,
I'm getting
people in the
fitter.
past and stuff. Yeah,
Fitter.
he is.
Fitter.
Yep.
More
Talking about
fitter.
bikes
More
and
fitter.
disc brakes, and sometimes they rub.
Yeah.
That's all I remember of the conversation. is
Right. Here, listen to this. Yeah.
Jack, how's your cycling?
It's
life
been good.
You've been. I honestly think you've been riding more than all of us.
Well, I've been 5 to 6 days a week, and last week was
That's
only
more
5.
than all of us.
Last week was 5 with a 10-mile run on the 6th. I missed a day because of work,
Jesus.
but we're working out every day. I mean, with the exception, I think I told Paul, probably the whole time I've been in Vancouver, I think I've missed 4 days of working out in 2 months, and my wife's not missed a day. So she's on her 40th day of running. So, and 1 day ride.
And she has an
She's got
agenda,
one ride
though.
in. I mean, she had a 41 or 42 day thing she was going to do, and then a race this weekend. So,
Wow.
which it turns out I might not have to race. They're changing the team to a mixed because everybody's dropping out. So now I guess I'm part of the team. So we'll see. Perfect.
Should
I was
I-
going there to ride.
Should I mention one of the people who dropped the ball?
I was gonna
Somebody
go
I know.
there and just ride and volunteer for their team so I could actually camp with them.
Yeah.
And then so I was gonna ride in Bend and around Bachelor and all that. Now it looks like I'm probably running a lot. I mean a bit.
Yeah.
Something.
Wow.
Running. Sucks. But no, I've been feeling better. Losing a little weight and getting a little faster.
Can I ask you guys, and it's interesting that we should talk about this because it's kind of an ongoing theme that I'm going to talk about throughout the show. I know rest is important, but and we've talked at length on this show about the fact that as you grow older, Jack, I think you were the one who talked about it in depth. Was you need to focus on quality rest and quality training a little bit more, and maybe a little bit more frequency in terms of the rest elements, but. What are your thoughts on how long is too long off the bike? Because I notice if I take more than a week off the bike, I get back on and I am 2 to 3 steps below where I was. Not that it takes forever to come back, but I've noticed that it's just like, oh my God, oh shit, this hurts, or I'm not performing as what I thought I should be. So tell me about how long is too long, and how do you work getting back on in terms of frequency of riding? Jackson, it might be it'd be interesting to hear from you because you maybe it's a quicker return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's well, I have I guess multiple answers to this because one, I mean for me, I can take a week off and then feel really good at the end of that week. Yeah. I mean that's what happened the week of the RC3. I took the whole week off, which I didn't really want to, but then I did.
You
and then
took the week prior to that off?
I took pretty much the whole week prior to the RC3. I rode a little bit, I think, that week, but then came back and did well. But
Yeah. if you wouldn't have cramped, you would have won both races.
Yeah. So I
No
mean,
offense to the person who won that
Yeah.
first day.
But there's that, and then there's also the fact of I think that guilt and social pressure is something that's also really big for cycling that I've come to find out really recently. And this might be like roll your eyes type of thing, but I feel like when taking time off, I think it's, especially for people like us, I think it's as long as you need it to be. Because I've come to find recently that if I take any time off, I put pressure on myself to a point where it becomes almost too much. And then that's when you start to realize that, man, cycling can be kind of tough in that way, and how like the social pressure of it all can really kind of get into you. That's one thing I've been trying to figure out lately is the balance between the pressure and the it's okay, you're not a pro.
Self-induced or culturally induced?
Both, I think. I think cycling is one of those sports where it's like if you aren't riding, you're gaining weight, or if you look at yourself in the mirror, am I fat? When you're really like when you're 6'4" and you're 160 pounds, you know what I mean?
You've just defined my entire life since my 15th year of life. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. I've self-fat shamed and self-training shamed since my 15th year of life.
It's a sport that can really do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. Well, it's such a mental sport.
It is.
You're already broken down. If you're training all the time, you're already fragile.
Paul, how long does it usually take for you to get back after a significant time off?
I think for me, it takes quite a bit. So that's why I always try and roll through the year.
Yeah.
But, and I think the big thing is I've noticed Jack and I were talking about getting older, doing the line of work that we both did. And he's hitting the age where I went, I got to get out of this because my knees were hurting and everything. It's just taxing. So, we just have the recovery. I can see even on the bike is like a big effort. It takes me longer. And of course I can do some interval training to fix that. But I know my body from the past. I was notorious for recovering fast. It doesn't happen. And in the long term too, that's why I don't have a problem with, taking one day off, even if I have a block like 4 days like this one. I could feel it. I'm not doing any good. But when you're in your 20s, I think your body's just so quick to recover, and it's always about repair and stuff. So, I think I'm in an experimental stage. I don't know. Approaching 60, I think it would be interesting to talk to somebody who kind of specializes on an older age. We talked to Carmichael about that at one time, because it's different coaching at an older age than it is at somebody at 20.
Yeah.
But I think us three grew up in a time period where you really didn't take a time off. And that's hard to shake. It's like raised in a certain religion that's still in the back of your head.
That is the mental side of it. Like, it should still be this way, and it's not.
Yeah.
The only days you're supposed to take off are Mondays and Fridays. That's in my head. That's Eddie B's ingrained training that I can't shake.
Friday because you're racing on the weekend, and Monday because you're
recovering
tired from racing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking me up. Does anybody take an official off season, so to speak, where it's like, okay, I have reached the end of my quote unquote cycling season, because I can't say racing season because racing is so hard to come by anymore. It is. And I mean, we all got to agree to that. But is there from August, the end of August to the beginning of, I remember Greg LeMond's book that was always just like, after World Championships to January 1st, you take off. It's just like, and then training in earnest starts on January 1st. Or if you're Jack recently, you take a decade off or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But is there a time where you allot for yourself I'm not doing anything? I'm not going to train. I'm not going to think about my bike. I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to pay attention to those fucks who keep saying cross is coming. I'm gonna blow it off. Anybody?
I think it depends on what disciplines you want to do. Like right now would be the hot crit season, and crit could very easily carry over into cross. So
Yeah.
It's coming.
cross is coming.
When is it appropriate to say cross is coming? I think September. It's like putting out fucking Christmas decorations in October. You don't do it
I think
until
it
after
starts
Thanksgiving.
in September, though, right?
Does it?
So,
Yeah, it starts in September.
yeah, so I'd say cross is coming in August, but right now.
Fuck. So it's
But-
okay. Anyway, sorry.
But anyway, and then there's probably nothing. There shouldn't be like a sedentary time of the year. Like you should figure out something else to do in the dead of winter.
Sure.
Downhill ski, cross country ski, run, fucking get on Zwift. You know something a little different than just the daily grind on the road.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's not like, I mean, 3-4 months off. Oh, it's cold and snowy out. You know, we can't do anything.
No, I'm not saying 3-4 months off. But
Yeah.
is there a window of I'm going to is there a pumpkin spice season where you're deciding to take off?
Last year was weird because I, living in Portland, always had a bare road to ride on during that cold season. And so this is the first year living back in a place where it's like should snow. And I remember kind of hitting that like wall of I don't really want to ride anymore around like late October, pretty much through a good portion of November. And that's the first time I've ever done that. And that was, I thought, really good. And so that's what I did last year. And when I hit that mental, I don't really want to do it anymore for a little bit, I'll do that. And then after a while, I'll start to feel guilty, and then I'll do it again. And then I'll start back up.
Start back up?
Yeah.
So you just kind of flow.
Yeah. I mean, my mentally, my body goes, you don't really want to ride Zwift anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll
God,
go,
yeah.
okay, I'll take a break off. And then that's when I got my tights, and that's when we started riding outside.
Yeah.
So
Paul, do you take time?
Yeah, I used to take like October because back in the good old days, the last criterium was at Seward Park, and it was Columbus Day Criterium. It was the first week in October. And then mid-October became bird hunting season, and CP and I would go out and take our dogs and relax.
Why are you not doing that anymore? No hunting.
Because I don't have a bird dog.
Have you seen his dogs?
and,
take Flanders.
and hunting is right now, it's just like terrible around here.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean it's no post, and for good reason. There's just been idiots that get on farmers' lands and drive up on freshly seed, stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it's they just got idiots. So, and once my dog died in 2009, my hunting dog, it's like nah, I'm done. So sold my shotgun and everything. So, but I still kind of like just laid back a little bit. But I have nothing to lay back this year, the last 2-3 years. Because I haven't really been pushing it, so I'll probably just keep riding whenever I can.
Yeah.
And I thought about, because I've mentioned before that 60 is my big push.
Yeah.
I want to do nationals, trying to get clearance with my wife. No, she doesn't have a problem. But and then go to Belgium.
Do you know where it is? National.
No, I think the bids are still out.
I looked it up in there. Nothing was
when I
popular.
looked there, the bids were out. So.
Please be
West side.
western.
Yeah.
More west. Yeah,
That'd be
more
cool.
west.
It would probably
great.
be Miami, Florida.
Yeah.
the farthest.
Yeah, exactly.
first.
Terrible.
So
I find myself like this time of year. I'm thinking to myself, there's not a lot on the horizon. I think I'm going to back off a little bit. Like this week, I felt fine. Just kind of going, I'm going to load a dumpster. Pay attention to my. And I do live off this silly little wrist thing where I'm going, well, I'm getting the strain. My numbers are still up, so I'm still getting. I'm not fat shaming myself, but I'm not gaining weight because
You're
I'm
not
doing
sitting
some
on your
work.
ass on the couch.
And I don't think I'll ever be able to shake that. I think that's going to be a part of my life forever, and I probably can equate that to my cycling life, to my childhood. My parents were very, activity and fitness oriented, especially my father. So it's a lot of that, and I can't shake it. So there we go. Yeah. And we're going to kind of play with that theme. So let's check the news headlines, shall we? Where's my news button? Does it work? Who knows? Is it going to work? Hey, hot damn, it worked. News headlines brought to you by our friends at Athletic Brewing. Great tasting non-alcoholic beverages that go great after a long ride. Drink with friends, or heck, even after mowing the lawn. You know what to do. Get to Packfiller. Use the code PBulger20. I know that sounds personal. It doesn't benefit me anything, but it gives you probably a 20% discount on all the Athletic beers and offerings there. So speaking of taking some time off, I don't know if you guys have heard, Tom Dumoulin has retired from professional cycling effective immediately. Dutchman who won the Giro d'Italia and time trial world title in 2017 was set to hang up his wheels at the end of the year, but has now brought that forward. He has, according to him, quote, "I decided to quit professional cycling with immediate effect. I noticed that I can't do it anymore. The tank is empty, the legs feel heavy, and training sessions are not working out as I had hoped." He retires at 31 with the Giro d'Italia title and world title to his name, along with runner-up finish in the 2018 Tour de France. In case we forget that one, that was a great tour.
It was good.
And top 10 at the 2015 Vuelta. So there we go. So any thoughts on the career of Tom, his legacy, and what might be next for him? I don't know if anybody has kind of like they want to provide like a quick little, hey, this was cool. And it can include the poop story.
Gravel. No, that's it.
You think he's going to go gravel? Yeah.
I don't know if I really witnessed too much of him.
You didn't?
I don't. He was right before I started watching.
Yeah. He was, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard rumors that
Horrible
there's
send-off
some
from
people that are looking for him as a DS or
Yeah.
Be a
assistant
good one.
DS. So I think he's level-headed and stuff, and he's a talented guy. And of course, he will always be known for his antics with too much gel.
Is that what
Yeah,
what spurred it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, or some kind of whatever brand,
Yeah. Some sort of
road
fueling
food,
system.
that you use. So I think he's a good guy, and I'm wondering, we start hearing 31 with guys starting like Remco and all these other guys. I'm thinking that's going to be soon. You're not going to see Valverde's anymore.
No,
I can't imagine.
41.
Is he in
So-
España?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
This is his last one.
Yeah. Podium.
Well, speaking of which, the second story is Casper Askren's crash at the Tour de Suisse in June delivered far more than a knee injury, and even though his wounds healed, his recovery hasn't as expected. So he is dealing with some. Let me see it. The stress. This is a quote from him. The stresses of the crash and the subsequent attempts to get ready for the tour has unfortunately led to him developing a fatigue syndrome, meaning that his body is no longer recovering from the even low intensity efforts. So that's some quick step off of vinyl. So you probably know where this is going, and Paul, you kind of touched on it. Tom Dumoulin's not an old guy.
No.
Casper Askren is not an old guy. I want to know, are we looking at a generalized theme? Is bike racing getting tougher? Or are the demands on the riders more, or are they less, or are they the same, or are these kids can't handle a fucking workout or something like that? Are we staring down the barrel of the sport changing in the fact that it is going to cause these high emotional, mental, physical burnouts in some of these riders?
I mean, I don't think it's anything new. I mean, I think that we've always known that cycling is a really hard sport, especially riding 3 weeks pretty much straight. I mean, rest days, you're still riding,
Yeah.
So it's a tough sport, and I think we're really starting to see like more and more the effects of what modern racing does to a body, because it's not, if you really in the 70s, riding was also terribly tough. The gearing that they had to ride on, I mean, everything, it's just showing how differently it is affected throughout the generations now. I mean, they're riding so hard every single day. They don't really give themselves a rest transition day. There's always some sort of attack to follow by one of the contenders. You know what I mean? It's different racing, but it's still really taxing on the body, and it's just a different form of taxing. It's always going to be taxing
Yeah.
though.
To touch on that, back in the old days, the career was the career meant to be longer, and I think we're finding that, like, with the new generation of cyclists, one, they're letting them into the tour earlier. There's more science behind it. There's no like guarantees or even like interest in like, well, can you win your first 5 tours before you're 25? So
It always used to
that
be
whole thing,
they would prepare the riders not to ride a tour until probably
like, hey,
23.
you're not ready, and
Yeah.
then hey, you're gonna be like Jupe Zotomel and all these other guys that are nearing their 40s because you're in your prime in your 30s.
They're investing in them.
30s.
It's a long-term investment in these
and
riders.
it's their career now. Like, you can have your blow up career at 22, go 22, 23, 24, make your millions of bucks with no future. The future doesn't matter for a lot of these guys. It's like, I got to do it now. I'm going to win now. We'll see if I'm around when I'm 26.
What
and
about Paul? I keep thinking about guys like Sean Kelly, who would, if I'm not mistaken, ride at least 2 or 3 of the Grand Tours, and that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, well, we have what's his name, Jai Henley. He's going to be doing he won the Giro. He'll be doing the Vuelta, and I think some of them did like all 3. I mean, it's different, but I just to touch back on the youth thing. We don't know. We're talking about like these superheroes like Pidcock and you look at Vanderpool and
Van Aert.
Cross mountain.
They don't have a timeout, but then look at Vanderpool during the tour.
He was non-existent. Did he even finish? I don't
No,
know.
he had to
He
drop out.
dropped out.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't there for a sprint. He wasn't there he tried breakaways. He went with Van Aert, and Van Aert dropped him.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start seeing where we're like in awe of these extremely talented people, but they're burning candles at both ends, and I think we're going to have them start crashing. And
It's going to
I'm
shorten,
probably going to be terribly
careers.
wrong, but I'd say in the next 2 years, I mean, you start pulling up injuries, so you're stressing your body. But Wout van Aert, hopefully he doesn't fall apart in 2 years, but it wouldn't be uncommon. I wouldn't think it would be strange. Like, where did that come from? Because
No,
crying out
'cause we're all
loud, this
watching.
guy's
they're
huge.
shortening careers,
Yeah.
and that's not that. Oops, sorry, that doesn't even seem to be a worry. It's
money
like,
now.
Hey, it's money now. It's entertainment now.
Burn the
Let's
match while you have it.
Fuck it. There's 3 more kids coming up. They're 17 right now, and they're prepping for the tour.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are signing 19, 17-year-olds already.
Off of Zwift.
Well, no, even
There
even
are.
like
I
this.
know. I know.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are like these small little teams, as junior teams. I mean, they're like, hey, their numbers are good. That's one thing. Maybe a slight drawback to this. You're diving down to like, oh, look at this kid. He's got talent. Let's buy him now.
That's why the science is way better now.
Yeah,
than-
and it'll be interesting to see what happens to Pidcock because, I mean, I know that a lot of people are like, hey, he has the potential of winning the Tour. Maybe, but he's not going to do it by doing cross, mountain bike.
Right,
It's not going to happen. He's going to have to sacrifice for the Tour.
And it's also a really interesting trend because this isn't only happening in cycling. I mean, it's happening in other sports as well. I mean, I see in soccer all the time that right now the idea to sign young players is way more attractive than signing older, more experienced, but higher quality players. I mean, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo's 36 years old and still playing and starting every single day or every single game for Manchester United. When you look at other players, there are younger players out there that will burn out, and we are beginning to see like knee issues, hip issues way earlier. I mean, it's the trend of signing youth quickly because you're going to get that flash in the pan, I feel like.
And
really
we're
quickly.
we're also seeing this mental burnout. I mean, we look at the retirement of Marcel Kittel. That wasn't necessarily a physical injury burnout. That was just, and Dumoulin.
Dumoulin was
he
another
just didn't
one.
want. He didn't want to play anymore. Am I high? Is this new because of the situation, because of the culture of the sport, because of the industry of the money making industry that is everything involved, that they're just like, fuck it, they're products. I'm gonna chew them up, and spit them out. Am I wrong?
Well, the high end of sport is really pressurized. It's more of, I mean, yeah, you are more of a product if you don't succeed. And I think social media, we talk about it all the time, and it's so different. If you win a Giro and then you have a bad day in another race, everybody's saying, "Oh, he's finished. He's done. He can't keep up with these guys." That's got to be really hard.
Oh God,
for someone at the top of the sport. And it like I said, it's too pressurized for some of these people to just put all of this weight on their shoulders.
For some of these people, or just for any person.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like Patrick Lefevre is the only guy who can handle, all the bullshit. And that's because I think he just doesn't
Herding
fucking
cats,
care,
that guy.
or something like that. It's, I mean,
Yeah, he
I
just
don't, I don't
pisses
mean
people
to,
off,
I don't mean to disrespect Patrick Lefevre, because I think what he's doing is apparently working. There are a lot of people who say what he's doing is not very productive for the overall realm of the sport, but fuck, do you remember
It's all about
Mapei? Do you
sponsorship.
remember all these?
Yeah.
Pasha Botolo.
Yeah, and he's been talking about the fact, he's been recently quoted as saying something along the lines that he doesn't want Julian Alaphilippe to take the Vuelta as a training opportunity for Worlds. He wants him to be aggressive during the Vuelta. I don't pay him to train for the Worlds. Somebody on Twitter said it very humorously, in the fact that, well, that just must mean that Julian Alaphilippe has a clause in his contract that if he wins another Worlds, he gets a big pay raise, or something like that. So, but the burnout of these riders, it's a frightening thing, and because we've got these, we have this incredible talent and these paces that are so high, that a guy like Geraint Thomas, we're patting him on the back when he gets a third. But in all honesty, a guy like Geraint Thomas
and
is
riding his best tour.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that should the sport's growing and
It's
changing.
Yeah.
And is it for the good?
I think it's always evolved. I mean, I'm obviously a student of watching old films and stuff like that, and Merckx is always the mark for everybody, and everybody forgets. At his time, there was some unbelievable Walter Godefroot, Freddie Mertens.
Yeah, at the end of his career, and he was
all of them. Yeah, I mean from the get go, even
Vlamic.
like the Italians.
Yeah.
You had Giamondi. Old Ritter, who, I mean, everybody was in the shadow of Merckx. He just shined so bright. Everybody thought, well, this is how it's done. He just but I mean, he fought hard, and he really, in all honesty, he didn't have a long career. I mean, because he burned the candle at both ends. I mean, a massive crash on the track, and he said, I never knew, this is an interesting statement. Everybody says, you must suffer a lot on the bike. And he goes, I didn't ever suffer until that crash on the track where he was almost died. And he came to, and he said, from that day on, I knew what suffering was. And so, I think it's evolved. And I think, the way we train, we just talked about it earlier. What's our mindset and what Jackson's mindset about training is different. I mean, we got scientific and we have good diet. There's a period where you can watch.
You have good diet. I like
you can watch
potatoes
like
and beer.
The Sunday in Hell, and there's Roger DeFlamme cutting in for breakfast a big chunk of steak and eggs and stuff like that, and it's like,
That's
oh man,
how I pattern my
Yeah.
eating food.
yeah. But I mean, that's now everything you eat is weighed out and
DSM.
yeah, it's
That's gotta
crazy.
be a miserable way to live.
That's I think the point of this whole conversation is the misery of the short term flash in the pan. I mean, you look at like
If
burnout.
everybody else is
Look
living like a monk, you're going to have to live like a monk
Right,
in order
right.
to keep up with them.
Yep,
and there's
yep.
only a certain amount of time that you can live like a monk
You can
until
start
you go
back
like,
at Lance.
I want it out. Yeah.
There's a way to do it. There's a
Yeah.
way to win. And
Yeah.
I mean, we would look at Egan Bernal or
Who's back, by the way.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean, like this guy's gonna win, and we've said this about Pogacar, and he's gonna win 5, 6, 7 tours.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
But I think all of the weight and all of the pressure and all the everything is moving so fast. It not only you have to worry about like Vanguard coming up, but a crash, but like, hey, you're working in your time trial position, you hit the back of a car. I mean, all of that is adding up to shortened careers.
Why do you? Nah, I think that's almost like a dumb question. I was going to ask about our intensity levels and what separates. You see some pros who retire and never straddle a top two for the rest of their lives. You see some pros who dabble. I'm thinking of the Johan Museos. You know, he's still riding. He's still active in the sport.
Sean Kelly's
still riding, active in the sport. Then you see some people who hang up the bike and
Lance
never touch it again.
Sorry to keep mentioning.
No, that's okay.
But he is very much still out there doing all kinds of stuff.
Now that might be because of their career paths,
and actually
like
it makes money.
Yeah,
it very much makes money.
But you see some riders who hang up the bike and never touch it again, unless they're begged to for a photo op or something like that. What do you guys equate to the reasoning why that? I mean, is it just an individual thing, or is it the way their career was measured out, or something like that? Because I'm in a room of what I'm going to assume are lifetime cyclists, no matter what level it might be,
whether you're riding or not.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, but you're always still thinking about the bike.
Yeah.
You have the bike in your house. You haven't sold it. You're not
buying more bikes. Alberto Contador. The guy's just
flying.
He's still fit, lean, riding. Cipollini. Anybody follow Cipollini in the room?
Yeah, he's running into some legal issues.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean,
women and stuff.
He's not doing well.
Okay,
legally. Yeah.
Whoa.
And ethically. Yeah. He's
but I mean, there's just a lot of guys that won't get off the bike ever, and there's guys that, like you said, just.
Yeah, Maurizio Frondires, I saw a picture of him, and he's
looking
he's
great.
2 years younger than I am, and I'm like, it looks like he could still, handle it. And the other one is, he won 99 Paris-Roubaix, Italian jersey. No.
Michele Bartoli?
No.
That's what I was saying.
No. And GCN did a Legends. There.
Taffy.
Andre
Taffy.
Taffy's in shape too.
Francesco Casagrande is still riding.
I think it's also important to make the distinction between a passion and a job.
There you go.
I think that we, the four of us, share a passion, and I think there are a lot of pro cyclists that share a passion, but I think there are also a lot of pro cyclists that are making money because they need to make a living, and what else can they do?
Yeah, work in a fish factory
like when I'm however old I get, I'm going to stop teaching when I retire, and I'm not going to teach again because I've earned retirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you earn retirement and you probably don't want to do your job anymore for some people. And so I think that it is probably genuine burnout after a while, and that's what retirement's for. Not doing shit for the rest of your life.
Not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it's really interesting to think about that and what separates the people who continue to do it and don't do it. And I'm not judging somebody who doesn't choose to continue to do something that they live so intently.
Bob Roll. I mean,
Bob still rides.
I know he's gone through pro. He went through mountain bike. He's he's riding every stage.
Yeah.
I mean there's passion.
Yeah.
I mean it's there's nothing fake about that.
Yeah. Shit. All right. So we didn't come up to a solution. That's fine.
It's an individual thing.
How do you solve? That's exactly it. How do you solve that?
It is. So okay, with lifelong status decided upon, let's continue with our love of pro racing, shall we? The Vuelta starts in just 3 days. In case you guys didn't know, one more Grand Tour. So we talked about this, but remind me of how excited you guys are for this one. If you had to give it a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of your other Grand Tours, what would you give this one, Jax? You're shaking your fists in joy.
I think that after the wonderful Tour de France we had, so I'm always kind of like, a lot of people talk about like the end of the tour, and you're like, oh, now what do I do? And you got to kind of wait for Worlds, or you got to wait for. It's just over. Their season is over. But after this tour, I'll have to say with Roglic going out early and looking relatively fit for Hurt, it's going to be fit.
I like that.
Well, I mean, he
No, it's
still
a term I'm
kicked
going to use.
ass in that
good,
last stage.
considering
He
fit for her.
before he pulled out.
Yeah,
did. Yeah,
And he said
so
it's like knives in his back.
fuck
The whole
if he's gotten the right PT and this is going to be an amazing Vuelta. So for Jumbo,
Your number was your number of excitement, which I asked originally about 3 minutes ago when you
10.
started answering this question. It was 10. So you're really that
I'm
psyched.
super excited. And
Really?
I've been loving the the Vuelta for
Really?
probably the last 4 or 5 years. Really like, fuck, this is an amazing race. It's just
Okay.
because I think you get some of the guys that like felt cheated out of the tour, injury, crash,
Yep.
left out. It becomes a brawl.
Okay. I just wanted a fucking number.
And
Jack.
last year,
Jack, I
Roglic-
wanted a 1 to 10. Stop. We have a discussion going here.
okay.
Shut the fuck up. No, I love you. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Paul, give it a scale of 1 to 10. Just a number, goddammit.
It's 8.
8. Really? You guys are that high.
Yeah.
Jackson? Sorry, I'm still pissed at Jack. I'm kidding. I love him.
Like a 4.
You are. Okay.
always is
You're at the
like-
other end.
Yeah,
Because
it's
are
been
you
down.
burned out?
It's been 365 days. You surprised that I'm saying this again. Maybe. Or maybe it's just that I want the 1 days back,
You do.
I didn't really watch the Giro that closely this year. I watched every single day of the tour. I never watch all of the Vuelta.
My next question was going to be Grand Tour fatigue. And you apparently have Grand Tour fatigue.
Yeah, it's like after the tour, I poured so much time and energy into that.
Yeah.
Because, my job, I wake up early and I have no time when I'm there to watch it. And then I get home and I don't really have that much time. And so it's like, I really got to work out time, to watch things.
So there's enough gap. You got to be chomping at the bit again.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's how much do I care? You know?
Whoa. Yeah.
same guys. I mean, some of the same guys.
Yeah. it's tough because it's like when I watch the tour, it's like this is like the team. Everybody built the best team to be here.
It's the Super Bowl of cycling.
Yes.
And
To
then when
quote
you-
John Tesh.
Yeah, when you look at the Giro, it's like, it's the B team. When you look at the
Oh!
Vuelta, it's like, it's kind of C team. Sometimes.
Really?
And sometimes I'm like, I just
Roglic
want to
and
watch.
Bernal would-
I just
would
want to watch the 1
disagree.
days.
Yeah.
Well, Bernal's not on this list.
No, but I'm just thinking of past Giros, and I'm thinking of past.
Because he's still
Yeah.
walking with a
Vueltas.
fucking limp.
Yeah. It's just I think it could be that it's just a lot of racing and a lot of climbing, and I think that's why I get bored. It's because it's the stages that are very long. In the Vuelta, it's way more climbing. It's way more of that stuff that I'm just like, I don't have 3 hours every day.
Okay.
Highlights?
So let's
I'll
try
watch that.
let's try and convince Jackson. Otherwise, two people who are really high. I'm about a 7, 6 or 7. I'm not gonna lie. I do.
So
have
what
a
would you
little bit
do?
of Grand Tour
What would you put the Giro?
Giro is usually a little higher because it's early.
Because it's
the
first.
I asked for a number, Pat.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, no long dialogue about this.
Sorry, sorry. I put the Giro at about an 8,
Uh-huh.
8 or 9,
And the tour?
9 to 10. Yeah. And then this, I'm about 6 to 7 to 8. Kind of a thing like that. Because I agree with Jackson to an extent. It's like, okay, another 3-week bike race. I kind of like the immediacy of a 1-day race, but stage racing is the rolling chess match. It makes it a completely different thing. It relies on so many different elements. In your guys' opinion, what makes the Vuelta special or different than the other Tour Grand Tours? The two people who are really high up. Jackson's, you already gave your reason. You kind of said is like they're longer, more climbing. It takes a certain element of rider out of the picture. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 3 years ago, I did watch the Vuelta, and that's when Tadej Pogačar really first came to the scene. Was when I watched that. That was the Vuelta I watched, and that was really entertaining. But then after that, I don't know why, I just kind of became the Roglic show. But yeah, it does.
That's for 3 years.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it does take out a certain type of rider, and when there's no variety, I think that's what gets me out of it.
Okay. Guys, what makes this one special as opposed to the other two?
I've always liked it when it switched the calendar from from early
Spring.
yeah, to it made more sense in September. And when that happened, we still didn't have coverage, but I'd follow it, and it is the last chance corral type thing for guys like you said. Yeah. Ones that didn't make the tour. Yeah, the contracts are everybody's trying to, and it's like what happened with when we had racing again in COVID. Everybody's going 100%, and they're throwing it down. And the tour, I mean, if I had to put the numbers on, the tour's an 8, the Vuelta's an 8, and the Giro is an 8 for me. They're all
equal.
All equal. They're all equal to me.
We only have 3 a year.
Yeah.
Like in December, you're going to want to watch the Vuelta.
The only 10s are for me. Is
No damn way am I gonna watch the Vuelta in December.
If it was on live in December, you'd be watching it.
No, they
Right
have
along
something
with-
like
No
that.
way.
A 3-week
Watching a Christmas
cyclocross
movie.
grand tour.
Yeah.
No, well, they have something in January, in February.
Yeah.
And they're not so exciting.
No, they don't.
Tour Down Under and
Yeah.
So not to belittle this for Primoz Roglic, but is this the? Oh well. At least there's the Vuelta. Do you think Primoz Roglic is thinking he'd be so much happier if he was too tired to do the Vuelta because of his Tour de France win? Is this
I mean,
like
for
a,
sure
oh well?
he wants a tour. For sure he went into this year's tour and last year's tour and the year before with.
Dave Stoller did not win the race against the Italians when they came and breaking away. And I remember that Moocher, when he was getting out of the car, he says, "Hey Dave, don't worry. At least you still got the 500."
yeah.
So what I'm saying is a breaking away reference. Is Primoz Roglic? Is this his 500 where he really wanted to beat the Italians instead?
Yes.
Jackson says yes.
I think, had he won the tour, would he be there? I don't think he would be. Right? Or even if he raced completely.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe he would. I think he does well because it suits him. Because if you think about how Roglic wins, so there's the first stage is a TTTT. One too many T's. Yeah.
Team type.
And so Jumbo Visma has, if you look at their list,
Could
they
be
got
over right there.
climbers.
Could be over.
Yeah, but they have TT guys. They have Rowan Dennis. They have even Roglic is not a slouch.
No, he's not. He's a gold
and
medal.
so they're going to do well on that.
Yeah.
And there's an individual, I think, a 30K TT, which all those really light Spanish climbers are going to have to work hard.
Yeah.
And he is very good at holding till about like the last 2K, and then he's just, and that's how he wins. I mean, but when you have somebody, if you look back, when he lost even to Pogacar 2 years ago in the Tour, that's not how Pogacar was. I'll go at 5K to go, that type of thing, and that's, So
Well,
I think that's getting back to my point. I guess I wondered if he would be doing it this year, but he'll be setting a record. No one's ever won 4 in a row. I don't know if anybody's ever won 3 in a row. I think 3 is the maximum. So he's setting not only the most number. Why not? I mean, that would be your focus. I mean, you can set.
He's cocked. Going into the tour, he's cocked and ready to go. So why, when you have a bad tour, when you have a early out or whatever, you're a pro cyclist getting paid to go on to the next race and win it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still getting a fine paycheck.
So he's cocked in that he's sealed out water.
Yeah. I think he dropped out of the tour early because of the Vuelta.
Because of the Vuelta.
I think that it probably hurt really bad. Like, I really do believe him.
Yeah, he had fractured vertebrae.
Yeah, I very much believe him. But the way he was riding on that last day, I was like, I feel like he could have ridden a couple more days.
For sure. Yeah.
But I think he went, I got to step out because I'm going to probably win the next Grand Tour.
I think Jumbo Visma has done something that they've created an emotional engagement in a lot of their riders more. I guess it's what a lot of the top teams we could probably think of it throughout history that have just dominated is because everybody's just they're just bought in. There's everybody's involved and they all want to do whatever it takes. And I'm sure, you could probably ask any pro team and they would all say, oh, no, we're the same way. But there's sometimes, the
Mapes,
the Mapes, the Jeton, the
Renault
Jeton, the La Claire's, the stuff like that, where everybody's in.
Benesto.
This just seems like that. Yeah,
Yep.
that super
Where
team mentality.
As long as we win.
Yeah, and don't they have that phrase in Dutch where it's like "sam winning" or something like that? They have it's something in Dutch that is pretty much all for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to have that mentality.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to touch what he said about that being Jackson. I think stage 11 was a key for Jumbo Visma in the Tour. And I think he stuck around for this situation because if he was good enough, I think he would be willing. Winning a Tour is better than winning 4 Vueltas, as in publicity. I think he was in severe pain. He crashed extremely hard. And I think he hung on and he says, I'll give it my best and then I got to go. And I think that was the assessment. But because that was a pivotal part. Stage 11 was a pivotal part of that tour.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think they broke Pogacar.
They had that down probably once the tour was mapped out. They said, we're the key. This is the one.
Okay, I want you guys to all listen to a list here. I'm not going to do it ASMR. I'm not going to talk like this or anything like that. But I'm going to name names that are top contenders for the Vuelta. I'm going to leave out Roglic. And I want you guys to think of the names that pop into your mind if you go, ooh, there's one. Okay? Quintana, Ethan Hayter, Remco Evenepoel, Shai Hindley, Joao Almeida, Sergio Higuita, Damiano Caruso, Richard Carapaz, Vincenzo Nibali, Enric Mas, Ben O'Connor, Mikel Landa. Those are what Pro Cycling Stats list as some of the top contenders. What name pops into that list that you would go, bang? Jack?
Caruso.
Caruso?
Yeah.
Is the name that popped into your head?
Yep.
Okay.
That
Carapaz.
Carapaz.
Too. They're like past winners of Grand Tours.
Paul?
I would say no on Carapaz because he's out. I mean, he's leaving.
Yeah. What's the team going to do for him? It's such bullshit that the teams think this way.
But the thing is they have a hater on there who's sticking around. So who are they going to really work for? And Carapaz really doesn't do well against Roglic. So I think they're doing that a 2-attack type deal, possibly on that. I think it'll be interesting. Hindley, if what he can do since he's had a break since the Giro after winning the Giro, and he's a pretty steady Eddie guy.
Yeah,
and he's good with it, fairly decent in the TT.
Yeah,
he's not a slouch, so that's the one that jumped out on me.
Jackson, what are those names?
I think that Jai Hindley is a really interesting one. I think that Ethan Hayter is really interesting, but he will not get anywhere close to winning the Vuelta, I don't think. He's much more of an Alpha Leap type rider than he is a Grand Tour winner. But I think that he is a future rider for sure. And I am interested to see what Carapaz does, and I'm interested to see what a pretty much unleashed Carapaz is going to do, because what are they going to do? They really going to work for somebody who's going to leave next year? Mm-hmm. I think he's going to look at it and probably go, hey, this team's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I might as well follow everybody else. I think he's...
Pogacar move.
I wonder if he's going to have a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he'll win, but I wonder if he'll go out... I wonder if he'll fight like Pogacar did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are certain... who needs this race more than others? I mean, we talk about this as being the last Grand Tour of the year. A very big make or break moment. I mean, the things that pop into my mind, Lotto Soudal needs something big. Now that we have this elimination concept that you could be thrown down to a continental level, I think about Chris Froome. How does he want to go out? Because is he going out?
Is he on the list?
And I more importantly think about Movistar. This is arguably the biggest Spanish team in the world. Arguably, they are the biggest Spanish team in the world. They have not had a good year. Who is make or break? And who's the most make or break? Would you guys consider in this final Grand Tour of the year?
I think Bike Exchange has to really do something. They're the
do.
ones that are hurting.
Yeah.
The only highlight that I can think of, and I'm sure I've missed one, is Michael Matthews getting one stage.
Yeah.
Simon Yates had a turd of a Giro. Now, he's previous in 2018, he won the Vuelta, but I think, this is a stage, or this is a type of race that suits his type of racing a little bit, and they could use those points, and not that they're on relegation. Movistar, in my opinion, they'll be working for Valverde.
Yeah.
Because this is his last.
Final, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yates not on the?
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So
Other Yates.
Oh, yeah.
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 The one with
Yeah.
the big dick.
Whoa.
Right.
Well-
He had that post up finish, and he was like, Jesus Christ, is there a cucumber in his pants?
I think
Quick, somebody.
Yeah.
Take over.
We could make penis jokes.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
We've made worse.
I think
Yeah.
I think in this one, Quickstep could have something to prove. Not that they need something to prove, but I think they could have something, especially after their, if we're gonna be honest, kind of a shite tour for them for their standards.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at their team on paper, don't think about anything of the past. That is probably one of the best teams on the
Sari,
list.
Alaphilippe, Cavagna, Devenins, Evenepoel, Fausto Masnada, Van Wilder, and Louis Varvake. I don't know.
Vavarka. I think
Varvake. There's no
Vavarka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it's a pretty good. I think it's a really good team, and I think that I think Remco could really perform if it wasn't more than a week.
So we don't think Remco has a 3-week tour in him.
He hasn't proved it yet.
Not yet.
I don't think he's got more than a week. I don't think he's got it in the high mountains, and I don't think anything outside of a perfect road is really good for him.
There are only so many solo breaks you can make.
That's what's
how
tough.
he wins. Yeah.
And then Alaphilippe, he is coming off a crash, and he probably is training for Worlds.
Yeah.
So he'll probably go hard, but I don't know if he'll win anything. So I think for a big name in the sport, what are they going to come away with?
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for maybe.
And the tour didn't go so well, so they got maybe a couple downers.
Before we get to picks, talk to me about Americans. Lawson Craddock, Bike Exchange, Sepp Kuss, Brandon McNulty. That's it. Any thoughts on their chances or any wow moments for any of those? I mean, if we look at Brandon McNulty, we look at UAE, and you've got Pascal Ackerman, you've got Joao Almeida, you've got Mark Soler. You've got a
Pretty good
deep team for
yeah.
UAE.
Yeah,
Is
and he's probably pretty tired.
McNulty's fucking stud.
Yeah.
As is Sepp Kuss, as is Lawson Craddock. But are we going to see any fireworks from the US of A? No.
I think Brandon McNulty has the potential of winning his stage, without a doubt. Lawson Craddock, maybe a stage. A breakaway. He was trying to do that in the tour. You can see what he's going for. Sepp Kuss has got a job. He
definitely does have a job.
Yeah. He's going to be shut down. So, all right, gentlemen, you know the procedure. And we did discuss earlier before we went live on the show that maybe we need to rethink how we pick our tours, because we only get 4 riders. And I think a team of 12 riders is kind of bullshit. I mean, put your money where your mouth is, pick 4 riders. But if you at home or wherever you listen are thinking about it in a different way and you have a suggestion, throw it our direction through
So we
social
get
media.
picking the top 3. I can't remember.
You get to pick a leader, a sprinter, an outsider, and an opportunist. And how we usually do is how we've always done it is we break it down into points per stage. 5 points for first, 2 for second, 1 for third. So if your riders place in a stage, you get those points. And then the final points, jerseys, maybe I should make those smaller amounts, but for now we're going to keep it as is with 50 points for the winner, 30 for the sprinter and the climber. Is that what we've been doing? That's what we've been doing. So for those you playing...
Leader,
sprinter, outsider, opportunist. And we can play around with a little gray area because there have been people who've sent us some interesting picks where it's like, hey, Roglic is my outsider or something like that. And I'm like, come on, man. But it's an honor code thing. So you get to pick those 4 riders, and then you have to keep track of your points, and the winner or the loser gets to brag. And by the way, Jack, we have a punishment to serve.
I know.
And I
Double or nothing on the Vuelta.
No, have we agreed? Have we agreed on the beer 4 mile? That's what I'm going to do.
Well,
I think that's
I don't
good.
know that I'll be here. I could do it.
I lost the women's tour.
Will we be in the wintertime?
No, I'm going to do it probably. I'm probably going to agree to do it probably. Now, here's my question. Would you guys allow me
We should do a running beer mile. Oh, it's
No,
second.
that's
Okay.
stupid.
Fuck that.
Well,
Would you guys allow me to do it with athletic over alcohol
that's not
beer?
even
What?
That's not even a fucking
No.
beer mile. That's a fucking
No.
drink mile.
You know what? When
4
you're done,
miles.
you can have as many athletics as you
Yeah.
want.
All right.
How
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that?
I would be willing to do it.
And Sam gets to choose. Bike Fit Sam gets to choose the alcohol.
No, because Bike Fit Sam would pick bourbon for me or something like that.
No,
It'd
it has to
even
be a
worse.
beer.
Okay.
I think it has to be a
I
beer.
would be willing to do it as soon as next week.
I won't be here.
Oh, wow.
So do I do it remotely?
And should we
I don't have a
record
bike
it?
to
Should we
ride.
live stream it? It's
Next week, like what time? During podcast?
No, well that would be kind of.
Yeah.
I think
not
we
so
should
productive.
record it,
So
Yeah.
not
So,
live stream it.
I won't be here. I don't have a trainer that I will put my bike on.
I have 3 trainers.
I won't be here.
When are you
Show
going to
off.
be here next?
Fuck,
I'd like to see
October.
you two go off.
Actually, it'd be
October.
funny to do
Yeah.
fucking rollers.
Yeah.
right.
But we
Oh,
should do it at the same
Jesus.
time, Jack. We should do it at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
October?
we should
you
do it
think?
on rollers. That's as close as dangerous. I like that. Rollers.
That's just liability.
4 beers and rollers.
Screaming.
We'll
We got
we'll get
4
some
walls.
pads for you
We got
guys.
4 walls. We got a
No, I'm doing it
console.
outside, man. Probably in the carport, right outside the studio.
Okay, perfect.
You got some cleaning up to do, Pat.
I've been working on
Got
it.
a dumpster.
So, Jack, when are you going to be next to Spokane? We have to commit to this because we fucking suck at this.
Probably.
Take your time. It's not a time
Yeah,
podcast. or
mid
anything like
mid October.
that late?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it'd be great. It'd be cool outside. It'd be
We could do it. We could technically do it and potentially do a Vuelta
No.
tour
Yeah, so 3 of us could
to
be
a
out
farm, or one of
No.
us would have to do it twice with 8 beers.
Well, we didn't do it with the Giro.
We didn't do the Giro.
there. Yeah.
We didn't do it with the Giro. So let's just call it. Let's call it good.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm following through on my punishment this year.
So who lost the Giro? Was it me?
I don't
I
know.
have no idea. I
Christ,
don't even
it was
know
in
who
May.
We'll
fucking
have to go to
won.
the tape and find out.
Let's
This,
go to the
this guy
phone.
won the Giro. I know that.
All right, so I'm saying we got to come through on our punishment, and
Yeah.
and I think the listening audience is waiting for us to
Make a
embarrass
decision.
ourselves and
Okay,
probably
yeah.
vomit. And if
I'll
we
tell you
want-
what. If we find out that I blew the Giro,
yeah,
I'll be a part of it also.
even if Sam picks the beer.
No.
All right, I think we can all pick our own beer, but they
Yeah.
they have to be real beer.
At least 5%.
Here, I'll tell you what. If I blow the Vuelta, I won't be a part of it because I probably didn't watch.
We'll pick a different. We'll pick.
We need a
different
cameraman
punishment for you.
anyway.
Yeah.
We'll pick a different punishment
Yeah.
for you. You could ride Mount Spokane twice. Yeah, the
Well, we'll
silence
see.
speaks.
We'll see.
Well,
I
you
won't
get-
do it.
You're gonna play. You gotta pay. You know, right? You don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
I can't do the time.
All right, then Jackson's picks don't count. So, who wants to go with their four riders first? Anybody want to jump into the 4A?
Yeah, I'll go for it. I think. Let's see. I'll start with sprinter. I originally put Pascal Ackermann, but he hasn't really done anything for like 4 years. So this race is
And he
very
crashed in the Euro. I
Hey,
mean, the Euro
yeah,
Championships.
exactly yes.
Oh yeah, you did.
Bad.
So crossed him out, and I think because this is such a different race, it's not a very sprinty race. I'm gonna pick a guy like Ethan Hayter for my sprinter.
No.
Those are the type he usually wins a mountaintop sprint, or not a mountaintop, but a hilltop sprint. And then for my opportunist, I'm gonna pick Julian Alaphilippe.
I think he's gonna be popping
Yeah.
off some caps.
I
here,
think so,
just
too.
trying to see what he can do. Yeah, yep.
And then my outsider, I'm gonna pick Remco. Just because I think that he probably knows he's not gonna win, but he's gonna really, really try to win, and that means he'll probably get a stage.
Some might be screaming, saying he's the leader. You can't pick him, but I'm going to give you the outsider realm on him.
Because I also think that a lot of people aren't thinking he's gonna win.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
And then my leader, surprise, surprise, is Primoz Roglic.
I think we're all going to just cancel each other out
Yep.
with the leader here because 2 of us have been bitten and we're going to have to drink
Twice
shitty
shy.
beer and go. Yeah. Well, bitten.
I picked
So-
Roglic in the tour.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How'd
That's
that
why I
turn
won.
out for you?
That went well.
That's why I won.
You lost that one.
I know,
Is that the
I'm
one you
fucking
lost?
kidding.
I
Yeah.
lost the Tour de France Farm, right?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I won that one.
I
Yeah,
got
you did.
like
Handedly.
1 point in the tour.
Jack, you want to go next?
Sure.
Put your name on the line.
Yeah. Michael Woods.
We're going to
sprinter.
make Jackson do a punishment, by the way.
Okay.
He's not going to back out of this. It's just I'm gonna pull the daddy rule.
Then I'll just win.
You better win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
probably will
Just
win,
keep
like
doing
you
what you
usually
do,
do.
Yeah,
man. Just
yeah.
keep doing what you do.
Or
yeah.
mid-table, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Roglic. So sprinter Michael Woods, outsider Valverde.
Michael Woods sprinter.
Yeah, I think there'll be some like climby. Like,
Okay.
you know what?
So you just said that
I
so
just
quickly that people might not have heard. Leader is Roglic.
Roglic, yeah.
Sprinter.
Woods.
Woods.
Just because I think it's, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Outsider.
like any other sprinter.
Outsider.
Valverde.
What?
Yep.
Where's that?
He's gonna surprise us. He's going out in style.
He does so well at this race.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
gonna
Every
go out-
time.
He's gonna
You
go
know
out in
what?
style.
I'm
Been
not
on
gonna
the
do-
podium
gonna
like
maybe
5-6
let him-
times or something.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might just go. Fuck it. I'm going out on a blaze
yeah.
of glory. Going down in a blaze
No,
of glory.
opportunist, opportunist Alaphilippe, like Jackson.
Okay. So you and Jackson could cancel each other out.
Well,
technically.
pretty much.
Or
except
you
for
could both
Woods.
win.
Except
Or you could
for
both
Woods,
win.
and
Yeah.
Palm.
Well, I'll do the cancel out leader Roglic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all going.
Opportunist Alaphilippe.
Okay.
Wow.
I have my outsider. I have Ajay Hindley.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's almost a
And
2 team leaders.
Sprinter.
Duh.
Jake Stewart. That kid's going to shine.
Oh, yeah.
Stewart.
Yeah. So,
Shit.
and I had her interview. I think was it Jake? No, it was somebody else. Anyway, Matt Stevens interviewed somebody,
Yeah.
and I thought it was Jake Stewart, but nevertheless,
Okay.
Jake Stewart has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
You?
here's the deal. I'm going to give you my picks, and so we're all basically going to say that if Primoz Roglic wins, none of us win. So which is going to be interesting because it'll break it down to stages. It'll break it down
Yeah.
to stages. We'll all get those points because I too am picking Primoz Roglic for a fourth Vuelta. I am picking completely different names than what you guys picked though from here on out. So this could make or fuck me.
That's
in
what
the
I
long
or
run.
did.
do-
This. I got fucked in.
Do a 8 mile 8 beer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It's like 8 beers. Pat will be dead in October. My sprinter I'm picking is Tim Merlier or whatever it is. Yeah, Merlier.
Yeah.
Because I think he was flying, and I think he's got some more in him.
He lost his sprint today.
He did. Fuck. Okay, now you tell me. I am picking for my outsider, and you guys approved it. Paul and Jackson approved it before we went on air. I'm picking Ben O'Connor because I picked him in the Tour, and I'm sticking with him, and I think he's going to do something. I don't think Ajay Desir has the team to back him up for a Vuelta win, but I think he's going to do some stuff that he should. And my opportunist, I think Thibaut Pinot is going to just come in guns a-blazing and see what he can do and do a little dance, a little romance, a little drama, a little fun, and I think he's going to do something. Do you think I'm
You
bullshit?
jinxed him again, didn't you?
I did
Yeah.
jinx him again. I jinxed all my riders.
Yeah.
And I might have jinxed Primoz Roglic by picking him. So
But we all picked him, so we canceled that out.
so if I get so in other words, sorry. Sorry to all those riders, but those are what I'm going with. So the race starts in 2 days, 3 days
On Friday.
On Friday. So if you want to play along with us, you got to post your picks to one of our social media platforms, any way you want. I'm not saying that there's something on the line, but you can just play along and laugh with us. And I'm not going to send you.
Join us all for the beer mile.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you're a Spokenite and you get as shitty points as us, and you're willing to
We could
sign
do
a
it at
waiver,
Manto
and-
Park.
Yeah, exactly.
Manto Park, like
It's
this
just
is
a
a city
park.
thing. This is
Yeah, it's city property. Paul, what are your hopes on the upcoming district TT? Where do you hope to land
After today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
top
there's
10.
4 in my group. Hopefully, I'm in the top 4. I'm just saying.
Brent says good luck.
Oh, good.
Brent does.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself landing?
I would like to be in the top
Top
3.
Yeah?
Ideally.
Yeah.
There's a gentleman who has won in the he's 51. He's a Cat 1-2, and he in the 50s group in Spokane, or not Spokane, but the state of Washington has won every stage race and every race in the stage race.
Shit.
And went to nationals and got 7th in the TTs, I think 7th in the road race and 8th in the crits. So I'm not going to beat that guy.
Bet his kids don't even know his name though.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably right.
Probably, yeah. So that's not going to happen. So it's
Yeah.
a battle. I'll have to really work on my position. So we'll see.
I would like to ask Paul first, but any thoughts on Sam actually showing up for the
Yeah,
start of this race?
I think he is. He registered.
That,
he put money
He also
down.
registered for the RC3. So I know Sam's going to listen to this show. I don't know if he's going to make it 1 hour and 25 minutes in, but
Yeah.
what do we all think the odds
I
of
think he'll
Sam
be there.
actually showing up at the start line?
Yeah.
Give it a 1 out of 10.
Yeah, especially if I reach
One
out to him and
no-show,
say, "Hey,
10.
let's share a car." I'm
Yeah.
giving him a little
Yeah.
more, like,
Yeah.
you know,
I'll buy
a
all
little
the
pro.
gas.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll buy
I
you
give
beer
him a
afterwards,
7.
even if it's
Yeah.
one of those private reserve.
I think there's no
fucking
fucking chance.
swing
I don't
to
think he's going to
11.
show. I would place my Vuelta win on Sam not showing. No, I'm not going to do that.
8.
It's-
8 miles.
Why, Paul? Why are you afraid to be seen on your time trial bike?
Because they're fucking
It's
stupid.
ridiculous looking. You should have seen him. I was embarrassed.
Yeah, I made
riding next to
sure
him.
that he was always either to
In
the
my
side or
glasses?
behind, in
Yeah.
front of me, so he doesn't sneak a picture.
I
did
wore
not.
glasses just to make sure
Yeah,
nobody knew.
I
it was
wore
me.
an indiscreet. I did not have any
Yeah, he didn't
Packfiller
have any-
stuff on.
no
What is
Oribe.
it? Why?
Because
I
they're
mean,
He
stupid
doesn't
looking
want to look
bikes.
like a tri
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's just. They're
Is it the
dumb
triathlon
bikes.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fast bikes, but I think they're ugly.
Really?
I think TT bikes are fucking ugly.
Jackson, you have an aerodynamic bike. Do you agree with the same thing with a
It's
TT bike?
totally
It's,
different.
I was about to say, I think
Totally.
it's very different.
Yeah.
I think TT bikes, depending on the one, are kind of funny looking. I mean, we
Yeah.
were at a
Funny
we were at a
bike.
triathlon over the weekend.
Yeah.
And every one of those bikes, I was never like, damn, that's a good one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we're all out of beverage, but Roger's bike
It is a gorgeous bike.
Well, that's
Yeah.
different.
That's like backwash.
It is a gorgeous bike. I had a Scott Plasma that was pretty fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it
really-
had probably like an all-stop extension.
no.
saddle
It was
thing.
it was a 2010 or 12 Scott Plasma, all SRAM red. It was a really nice bike.
That's what I had on my bike.
Yeah.
SRAM red.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it was. I sold it, but I don't have it anymore.
So, but would you get
For a microphone? Did you sell it for a microphone?
Nope.
That's me. That's me.
That's right.
Yeah. What is the justification for owning a time trial bike, guys?
One race a year.
TTs are to me. I love the challenge mentally. I was never really great at it, but I had some parts of success, so it's always fun. I like flogging myself. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
He likes a good beating.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really?
What's
Yeah,
the justifications for owning 10 or 12 bikes, Pat?
It's a collection,
No.
Jack.
See,
I
why
built
can't you-
it over years. You know, I quote Clint Eastwood. I can't believe I'm referring to Clint Eastwood on anything because
yeah.
after he talked to
Yeah.
a blank chair. But to quote Clint Eastwood in I can't remember the movie, but it's that one where he's the old man and the guy.
Yeah,
is
the-
like
the
wow,
car.
how'd you get this
El
tool
Camino.
set? El Camino.
Camino.
How'd you get this tool set? He's one doesn't just automatically have a tool set. You acquire it over years. And my bike collection has been acquired over years, and that's why I wouldn't sell my bikes to your friend because
I knew that though, but you were asking the justification for a time trial bike.
yeah, it was.
have you guys
working in the bike industry?
Do you guys? My wife and I love this song by a band called Case Choice. It's a song called I can't remember. Butterflies Instead. And it's the name of the song. And the song is focused around a little girl who she's having bad things going on in her life and she goes to a room and the pets come alive. Right? I can't believe I'm sharing this at the end of the
Pets
show.
or stuffed animals?
Her stuffed animals. She calls them her pets that
I
come
see.
alive and cheer me up and tell me everything's all right. That kind of a thing. Does anybody put an emotional investment into a bicycle that you actually don't want to sell it because you think it's going to have a bad life?
Like giving away your dog. Like
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Yeah, who would
No way.
give away a dog?
Do you put an emotional attachment into a bike that you would make it would make the bike? You don't want the bike to have a bad life.
No.
Paul's like,
Tool.
fuck it.
It's a fucking tool.
Really?
Yeah.
You're foolish.
There's
Really?
no soul.
Am I the only one, Jackson?
Well, it's tough for me because all of my bikes are like my firsts.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's like your
first love.
Well, yeah, and it's like your first road bike that you raced on, your first.
You should see
Gravel
the
bike
first
that you
road
raced
bike
on.
I raced on, by the way.
Yeah.
Jackson, but I'm saying your Trek. Would you be willing to just throw it away into the dumpster
That's
in
not,
the driveway?
That's not
No,
what
I'm
we did.
starting at the. I'm starting.
starting at the
I'm starting
worst
at the
case
worst.
scenario.
Would you be
It's-
willing to do that?
It's tough because it's like I know how great that bike is, and I know what the amount of stuff that we've been through together. So it'd be tough. That's why it's on the trainer right now.
Would you sell it to a crackhead who would buy it, use it, and flip the bars upside down and ride it to
No.
some sort of tent village?
No,
Another extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going up.
Why do you gotta get
Yeah.
extreme?
Would you sell it to somebody who would just use it
Dumpster to
and
crackhead.
treat it kind of like shit, and then occasionally use it and
Never
then it
clean
doesn't
the
work?
chain.
Yeah, yeah.
no. I mean, I probably wouldn't sell it at all.
At all.
Yeah.
That's what
I have no
But
problems.
I will have to. So as much as I said it's a tool, I will have to say many times over the last
But that
decade,
you put an
I
emotional
have-
investment.
No, but I regret selling all the bikes I've had. I've had 25 great bikes. I regret selling every one of them. If I was a millionaire right now and I could track people down and find my bikes, I would.
You'd buy them back.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Paul wouldn't. You
no
wouldn't?
problem
You wouldn't?
selling any of them. If I'm making
I
it,
sold them for a reason. though.
I've had bikes for a short period. We were talking about Davidson. I had a Davidson
Yeah.
Stiletto, which is their crit bike. I
still
thought it was
have
pretty
mine.
good. I ended up giving it to a guy that needed a frame. I had no problems. I just took the parts. You can have the frame. I had a DeRosa that I've coveted for the longest time.
Yeah.
I barely rode it. It was a long wheelbase, and I like crits, and it was like driving a semi in the crits. Gotta get rid of this. And I
Tractor.
have no problems, and I have a couple of pictures of me on some of my favorite bikes that I've probably somewhere it's covering in dust, but like my Fuso was the best steel bike I've ever had.
Yeah. Can you imagine? They're probably in some like garage.
A
just
Fuso got
fucking
ran
rusting
over.
out. Oh.
Yeah,
See how my mind works though is I don't think of selling it. I immediately think of what's another use I can get out of it.
Me too.
Because I think with my old road bike, I think, oh, it's a great trainer bike and a
You're
possible
justifying
commuter.
my addiction.
That's what I yeah.
if I don't
enabling your dad.
if I don't use that bike within 6 months, it's not worth it.
Really?
Yeah, so that's why I have.
See, I just
I
looked
have
at
a Serrata, that T-Max that I use for a commuter,
Yeah.
and that was given to me by Dismount Dave.
yeah.
And so I keep it around just because that was a gesture he made when he's going through the divorce, and we had him stay at our house. I think he was.
If you don't know
trying to
who
be very
Disman
nice.
Dave is, go back into the archives of
Yeah,
this
he's a
show,
character.
and there's some fucking
but
great
your
shows
only
up there.
mountain bike, right?
That's the only mountain
mean,
bike.
so
Rigid fork.
why would you
rigid,
not
It is
just
nice,
ride
and
around
T-Max was on. I
Yeah.
think Ben Serrata made him for a couple of years. That was about it. It is a collectible. It has all the
I've had a
original
Serrata.
XT top mount thumb shifters.
I've had a Davidson,
So.
a Serrata road bike. Mm-hmm. I miss all the.
I don't.
We
I
could
don't
just
miss
do
them all.
this for 24 hours.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't miss any of my bikes because it marked a time in my life. But I'm happy with my BMC. Something happens, or I have an opportunity to get a new one for whatever reason, like you can't find brake pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rim brake pads.
brake
So
pad, sure it is.
then I have no problems giving
Right.
it to some bastard who has to chase out the brake
Yeah.
pads
You're-
and go to.
I,
secondhand store.
Paul,
Yeah.
I love you to death, but you're the guy who's just like going, Coco went to live on a fucking farm.
That's exactly right.
And and actually, but you'd be the guy who looked the kid in the eye and says, "No, Coco's dead,"
I would.
And I put him down.
and I
Yeah.
put it down.
I think I've been.
He
I
died
made-
of lead poisoning.
I made Coco dig a hole, and then I made him stand in it, and then I
right.
shot him with my shotgun,
Get in
which I
that
don't have
hole.
anymore because he stopped hunting.
I'm
Yeah.
lighting this up. I feel my current bike that I just bought is the best bike I've ever ridden.
You're
going
gonna
to
keep it. Are you gonna keep it forever? Or are you gonna
I'm-
grow tired of
I
it?
don't
like
know.
some
like
poor...
I told Paul, it's my last bike because I'm close to death. But like, I mean, what are they gonna do? Put like 14 speeds back there? 14,
They might.
14
Campy's
Yeah.
working
You
on
never
the
know.
13.
You know,
Campy's working on
I
the 13.
know, but so it is literally the best bike I've ever ridden in very many ways. Like, very many ways.
Yeah.
And the only justification for like not having all my bikes is progression. It's like, okay, you know, I started when there was 5 cogs in the back, and now I got
And an all
now I
soft.
got 10.
yeah.
And an all soft.
No, I
I
got
will.
12.
Yeah.
Soft
I
ride.
will. I will
I'm not even
finish. I will
acknowledging
finish this discussion for the sake of time by saying that I filled a 30-yard dumpster. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Not a single bike is in
Oh,
that dumpster.
hell no.
Not a single bike is in that dumpster because I couldn't do it. I always think of it as the, the Christmas story where or the Velveteen Rabbit.
Yeah.
You know, that classic story. You know, where I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it, and I can't sell my bike to somebody.
Do you
that
think
thinks
your
it's gonna
bikes
treat it
talk
like
to
shit.
each other when you're asleep at night?
It's a bike
I
story.
want my bikes to come alive and to cheer me up and tell me everything's
Hey,
all right.
Lightyear.
By the way,
What's
the song is by the band named K's Choice, K''S Choice,
Okay.
and it's
It's in
a great
an
song.
emotional tearjerker.
Yeah, she also sang a song called "Not an Addict," which was about not being a drug addict, but she was a drug addict.
Liar.
Hey, everybody, go fast, Paul. By the way, we're living vicariously through you.
Well,
and
we got another week.
I know
after
we got another
so,
week, but
yeah.
we're just psyching you up for it because the event needs to happen. And if you live in the state of Washington, go race the time trial. Me, I'm not gonna because I don't have a TT bike unless I buy Paul's. As for you, the listener, check out all the updates happening at Packfiller.com, the Patreon program, as well as tell a friend about the show and give us a rating on iTunes. More than 3 stars would be nice. Keep the rubber side down, drink plenty of fluids, and we'll catch you next week. Sound good? All right.
Peace out.
Peace.